everybody.
Hi, guys. Well, from way too warm for the season, Salt Lake City, Utah.
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
The podcast.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up today, Dan,
Yes, sir.
we got a conversation.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us all about it?
You have forgotten our topic.
I have no clue what we're talking about.
No, what we're going to be talking about is church and how great it is if you are the victim of anything.
No.
It is
It's horrible.
quite possibly
It's the last place you want to go.
Well, I mean, they present themselves as the only place you'll ever want to go for all of your spiritual, psychological needs.
anything and everything. Temporal needs as well.
All of your
A
needs.
lot of churches do.
Basically, almost all of your needs. They will meet them. Turns out that might not
May not be the best
be the case.
course of
It
action.
might not be true.
But, you know, with that said,
Sure.
we need to talk about
we'll
our
talk
beards, Dan.
about it. Oh, we do. We do need to talk about our beards.
or we both sport the beards,
Yes, we are hirsute fellows.
but
It's true.
we also like to clean up our cheeks and our necks.
Oh yeah, you got to get the neck. You got to
This
get the
is
cheeks.
important.
Gentlemen, you don't want to look like a Sasquatch.
No.
Last thing you need is neck beard.
That yeah, no neck beard.
not a good
that
look.
is over.
Yeah,
It's we're a little cleaner these days.
Yeah, and you know the whole bearded thing is kind of it's kind of sailing away too. So
Don't make me.
well, I
Don't
mean,
make me show my face.
no, it's hideous. We're both hideous men.
Well, it sounds like I might need a little bit more Harry's than I think.
Well, here's the thing. Yes, indeed. So what we're talking about here is Harry's. They are, our sponsor, and they are also your ticket to a crisp, clean shave for like way less money.
Right. Yeah, if you're buying razors at the supermarket, folks,
Yeah,
you're paying way too much.
You're paying too much,
And it's a nice high quality product.
right? So
like, it's got the 5 blades.
yeah,
It's the most comfortable shave I've ever experienced.
yeah. It's
I mean, really, truly.
you literally, like you've said to me, how it almost disturbed you that you couldn't even feel it because it glided so easily.
It was
over
so gentle,
yeah.
right? And I wasn't used to that. I was used to more of a raspy, scrapey thing.
You're like
right?
it's supposed. I'm supposed to be able to feel it tugging, right?
This is supposed to hurt, right?
Yeah, this thing doesn't. I barely get any feedback at all. No,
That's just working.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Franklin, that's how it's supposed to work. So yeah, there you go. If you now Harry's has the deal through us. If you go to harrys.com/TGIA, that stands for Thank God I'm Atheist. That's the name of this show.
That's how you remember it.
If you go to harrys.com/TGIA, you get the trial set for free. All you have to pay is shipping, and the trial set comes with a really nice handle. I love their handles. Their handles are actually great. You get the 5-blade cartridge. You get a little travel thing that goes over that cartridge. You get the shave gel, which is my favorite thing,
Which is lovely. Smells great.
and you get it all for free. And you can try it out. And if you don't like it, like, what have you lost?
Right.
Like, you're doing great. But then you're signed up. It comes to you automatically. Gentlemen, look good when you're out there.
Oh, yeah.
You
can do it.
What could be the harm? So go to harrys.com/TGIA, and I think you'll be pretty pleased with it. And do that.
Indeed. All right. Well, Dan,
Yes, sir.
it must be pilot season over at the networks.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've got a story about a green-lit project.
Oh, it got the green light.
It got the green light.
Going forward.
Greg Berlanti, the creator of such shows as Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl.
Okay.
Right.
So we got superhero stuff. We got
Many more.
comic book
Right?
bonanzas.
He walked into an office at CBS and he pitched them the idea of an atheist
Okay.
who is friended by God on Facebook. Becomes a real friendship.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh my
his
God.
proximity to the creator leads him to have a positive impact and change on the lives of the people around him.
Oh my God. It's digital touched by an angel. Oh man.
And it, yeah.
Oh.
I'm.
You know, it was about
I
time.
shudder. I shudder.
We kind of needed another. Touched by an Angel's been gone for a while now. We've needed another God focused network TV show.
Yeah, it's a little bit of Oh God. Remember the George Burns?
Sure.
You know, movies.
And its sequel, Oh God, You Devil.
Right, with John Denver.
Oh, I don't remember it.
That was John Denver, and and God appeared to him.
Yeah.
right? And
Or it's what was the one? Something Almighty.
like Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty.
Wasn't he just like temping for God in that one or something?
Oh,
like that?
right. Yeah.
And
I think when you can make God a wacky character in your show, oh, that's the good stuff. Who's playing God? Do we know who's playing God?
We don't know. The project's been greenlit. I don't even know if it's been cast.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who's attached to
I
this
have
project.
got to scurry out to L.A. I've got some auditioning to do. I think I'd make it. I mean, I know I'd make a good atheist. I feel like I'd make a good God.
Here's the deal, though. This is what bugs me.
Yeah.
I think we need like an atheist anti-defamation league or something to sprout up that watches Hollywood and the kinds of movies and TV shows that have atheist characters and how they're being portrayed.
Yeah.
Because I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Why did it have to be an atheist?
Yeah,
You know?
because wackiness and because
It shows the atheist is wrong.
It shows us all how wrong the atheist is.
Right.
He's cute though. He's fun. Mm-hmm. But he's wrong.
He's wrong. And how long does he stay an atheist?
Right. Obviously,
if he has God as his friend on
exactly
Facebook?
zero amount of time.
Right.
The other thing is, I mean, this was the impetus for that competition that I won a while back. It was a screenwriting, a script writing, and / little filmmaking competition.
Yeah.
Put on by the Center for Inquiry in L.A.
Right.
Because it was like all of the portrayals of atheists are either like robotic people who only, who I talk science only. I don't know anything else.
Right.
And I'm like really clearly autistic.
Right.
Or psychopaths.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, of course not. But like that's not the only portrayal. Like there are those people.
Absolutely. Yes.
And that's fine. They're great. But that's not who we all are.
Right. It's a dare I say a spectrum of people.
Yeah. Oh my God. Speaking of spectrums, or they are psychopaths.
Right.
And they're murderers.
Right.
Or they it's like there's a very narrow window. There's not just like a really cool person who happens to not believe in God.
Yeah, but I don't know that person.
Oh yeah, nobody's that. You're right. That's a fictionalized thing. There's definitely no like just
That
cool,
hasn't been my experience.
nice
at all.
people.
I mean,
They're either evil or robotic. That's pretty clear.
yeah. And so this just bugs me. It really actually I read it and I know that the point is that yes, there's another Touched by an Angel coming. Right. Or something like it. Right. But that's not what I took away from it.
Yeah, but although here's where they should go with it. And if they do, it would be really interesting.
Is the atheist convinces God he doesn't exist?
No. But at very least, God likes the atheist more than he likes a bunch of the Christians.
Oh. And that's why he reached out to an atheist.
Right. Because at least the atheist isn't a hypocritic asshole. So there could be that angle to it. They probably
But
won't
there's still
go there.
God, and the atheist was still wrong.
I don't care about that.
It's the wrong default.
You know, if they
I want more defaults
I
of just
know.
good people without God.
I know, but if
No
they
God.
if they do use this as a way of like sort of talking to Christians and being like, you know what, you guys need to stop being such dicks all the time.
Right.
Maybe it could have some good effect.
Well, and maybe they only stay friends on Facebook, and so maybe there's always this question about whether it really is God.
Yeah, maybe he never actually believes it's God.
Right.
I mean, it's still stupid. That part,
Well, the setup has some problems.
yes, it does. All right, I'm going to talk about something has happened in New Jersey that I didn't think was a thing in these United States. I don't know if it is a thing or not.
Okay.
But there's a very interesting thing. A bunch of Indonesian Christians have sought sanctuary in a church
yeah.
in New Jersey. Now, I saw this last week. I didn't actually have time to, it sort of didn't get into my list of things to talk about. But literally, yeah, they went into a church and sought sanctuary.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Which, to my mind, this isn't the Middle Ages.
Right.
The church doesn't have sway over the law.
Right.
But what they were trying to do is avoid deportation back to Indonesia, where they genuinely would be possibly treated horribly.
Oh, wow.
They, because Christians aren't tremendously welcome in Indonesia. It's a largely Muslim country.
Right.
And apparently, if you run away because of your Christianity, they don't like, there's a big risk of you being
just stay away.
attacked if you go back.
It's terrible.
There's been a ruling. A federal judge has temporarily halted deportation proceedings for these guys.
Okay.
So, it's not. I don't think that the sanctuary was really a thing. Like, if the federal government was like, it's time to go, I don't think the church could say, no, we stop you.
Right.
I think ICE agents can walk past a church door as well as they can walk past any other door.
But would they?
How
The power and authority.
this is a house of God.
How dare you?
How dare you? Or since it's New Jersey, hey, how dare you? You can't come in here.
I mean, the idea of seeking sanctuary in a church, like what was that? Like was it because you were walking into a Roman Catholic edifice and the Pope was so fucking powerful that if the church was protecting you, you were basically protected?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Middle Ages here.
Yeah, we're talking about
This is not
in eras past.
right.
I don't know. There may still be parts of the world where that's legit.
A thing.
Where that's a thing.
Well, I know there's some I read in just the Salt Lake Tribune about a church here that's trying to protect some Ecuadorian family or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of churches that are sort of on the liberal edge of things are like kind of desperate to try and keep people from being deported. Like good people, like for instance, one of these Indonesian guys that's under threat of deportation, like he apparently was honored for work helping to rebuild more than 200 homes after Superstorm Sandy. Like these are not. The thing that gets lost in the whole like deportation and illegal immigration sort of thing, and these are people who came in illegally, who came into the U.S. illegally,
Right.
Or rather were undocumented,
Right.
but
Better phrasing.
But the thing is that that's like never spoken. Trump's whole line is that they're rapists, they're murderers, they're drug dealers or whatever. Yeah, if you compare the criminal doings of the illegal immigrant population to the general population, they're far less prone to criminality than the general population. So if we kick out all of the undocumented immigrants into these United States, our crime rate will actually go up. Our per capita crime rate will be higher.
Yeah.
So that's an awesome thing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah, so anyway, they've halted the proceedings on these people. just until they can actually like sort of
Until
suss
they
things
step
out.
of that church.
Yeah, no, it's not. The church is not what's saving them. What's saving them is this judge who wants to look further into it and
who's kowtowing to the church.
who's kowtowing to Here's the thing. Here's the other thing. This is the thing that we should be pointing out to all of the conservative Christians who are like, deport them all, get them out of here. These guys are Christians.
Right.
They're like you,
Right.
and they'll be like, you're sending them like lambs to the slaughter. Is that what you want?
Right.
Because of their Christianity. Don't you hate Christian persecution?
Right.
Maybe you should consider it. And of course, and then they'll be like, we only meant the Mexicans. We were only talking about them.
Also Christians, by and large.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Dan,
Yeah, what do you got?
Germany,
I've heard of that.
their top cardinal,
Oh.
or their top sort of Catholic dude.
Mm-hmm.
He is a cardinal, right?
I mean, Germany's top Catholic dude is Emeritus Pope Benedict.
Well, active Catholic
Okay,
dude.
sure.
Right. A man by the name of Reinhard Marx. He's the Munich Archbishop, Cardinal Reinhard Marx.
Ah.
He went on to Bavarian radio
As you do.
and gave an interview in which he basically sort of kind of indicates tacit support-ish, but kind of only for gay marriage. Or at least the blessing of gay unions.
Oh.
Right, officially by the church.
Whoa.
But only sort of, kind of, and he hedges, and he never really says it. He says things like, the issue is how the church can do justice to the challenges that new living conditions and new insights bring. Isn't that interesting?
So he could be talking about gay marriage, or he could be talking about polyamory, or he could be talking about any number of things.
Well, the interviewer mentioned same-sex blessings,
Okay.
right, which is what they're talking about.
Sure.
And he said, concerning homosexuals, we must be pastorally closer to those who need or want pastoral care. Here, I think, we should also encourage priests and pastoral workers to give people in concrete situations some encouragement. I don't see any problems there.
Wow.
He's really coming out strong.
I mean,
support.
what's funny
This
is
is
that
like-
that is super strong language, considering who he is
Yeah.
and his position and everything. But it's just weak sauce.
Yeah. When the interviewer asked a little bit more directly if that meant, what he means is these blessings, he says, yes, there is no general solution. I have to leave it up to the pastoral worker on the spot who is accompanying the person there.
Ah, I
Right.
see.
So this is his level of ambiguity really stirred the pot.
He's rocking it out. He's rocking it out. It's
But
true.
people who who know this man and are observers of sort of where his stance is, are saying that he might be pro-reform on this, like legitimately behind the scenes. He's a member of the Council of Cardinals, which the Pope set up specifically to address potential reforms. And he's president of the Commission of the Bishops' Conferences of the European Communities. I mean, this is a very, very high-ranking dude in Catholicism. He says, we cannot simply change people's living conditions or the world in which we live. We can complain about them, but what good is that? But there can be more verve and joy in our work and the way we deal with people, which says nothing. But and this is coming on the heels of.
Coming out pro-verve is a really strong position.
This is coming on the heels, of course. Last year, Catholic leaders in Germany opposed legalization of marriage for all.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, this institution is reading the writing on the wall, and they're trying to figure out,
And they're panicking.
They
They don't know what to do.
Well, the problem is, if they didn't have the whole world of Catholicism to worry about, right? If they could just be Catholicism in sort of liberal countries, if they could be Catholicism in just Europe,
Right.
and maybe even North America, maybe like that,
Sure. They could do okay.
they could probably get away with like coming out on this issue. But they've
Right.
got the whole what is it, 1 billion people or whatever to worry about,
Yeah.
spread through Africa and South America as well.
This is why it's the perennial conundrum of religion right now. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to spread, you got to go third world.
Right. But if you go
Third world, you can't go liberal.
no,
Yeah.
I know. So they're trying to figure it out, and I
Yeah.
think it's crazy the amount of change that has happened in the West
Yeah.
so rapidly, so quickly on the issue of homosexuality.
Yeah.
Right. It's
They're not ready for it.
they're not ready, and they're desperately trying to figure out how to get themselves there.
It's schism time, baby. Everybody's gonna schiz. Mormon Church.
Mormon Church is going to schiz bad.
for sure.
It's going to get ugly.
Yeah. But the Catholics may not schiz. I mean, everybody will just go, oh. I mean, they'll actually retain a bunch of people if they don't accept homosexuality. They're going to keep hemorrhaging.
Right.
But if they'll retain a bunch of people in the first world
Right.
if they come out pro-gay.
But the problem is, why chase the first world? The first world is trending
You've already
toward
lost
non-belief.
us. You've already lost us.
You know?
Just you know what? Go hardline. You'll keep your third world for about a century. And then you'll be dead. I'm going to take us to Poland, where a couple of laws. I've got two different stories of different laws that have happened in Poland that are odd. One of them has made some news. The ruling Law and Justice Party has now passed a law. The Senate has passed a bill that outlaws blaming Poland for any crimes committed during the Holocaust.
Oh.
Now, I kind of get where this is coming from on one level, which is to say that people talk about, I've been to Auschwitz and Birkenau. These are concentration camps of World War II.
Uh-huh.
And if you say these are Polish concentration camps, I would understand why people would be pretty pissed off about that, because they were German concentration camps located in Poland.
That's true.
It doesn't say work makes you free in Polish over the gate.
Right.
It says Arbeit macht frei. It's in German.
Right.
This was a German concentration camp.
Right.
So I get it. I get being a little tetchy about that.
Okay.
However, to be able to put this kind of a stricture on free speech
Yeah.
is cray.
Yeah.
And they have made exactly zero friends with the Israelis during this thing. They're not happy with it. Israel is.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Israel's outraged about something?
right. But hey, go with what you know. That's what if you're good at something, do it with gusto.
Oh, then they're like some of the best.
Oh my God!
outrage.
Yes. You get some Jewish outrage, some Orthodox Jewish outrage.
Ugh.
That is pure uncut Colombian outrage right there. That is you can snort that with confidence. So yes, that's the first law. The second law I wanted to talk about is one that was just signed into law. That is going to eventually, it's going to phase out the opening of shops on Sunday. They are literally going to legally. It's going to be illegal to do your commerce on a Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah. As of March 1st, all shops and markets will be closed on 2 Sundays every month.
Oh, okay.
And then open for they'll by 2020. No shopping on Sunday.
Weird.
They do this with they say things like this is giving children a chance to be with their parents, and shop workers can have some much needed time off.
Is their entire economy just small shops? Like,
I
don't you
mean-
still have like hospital workers and all essential services?
Oh yeah, definitely
and
no hospitals on Sunday for sure.
You have a power company, right?
Right.
You
Yeah.
have
Yeah, here's the thing. You know, they say things. This was also, I think, this was the president of the country. He said, where there are hired trade employees, Sunday should be a day off to allow them time with their families. Which, hey, I love time with my family. I love a good day off. But I think that should be between an employer and an employee. Like, you know, if you need money, being able to work on a Sunday can be a great thing.
yeah. I mean, I kind of might have a funny little take on this. I mean, because I'm a little mixed on it, because I don't like the reasons why they're doing it, because it's clearly religiously motivated.
Right. That's the trick of it.
I actually do appreciate the idea of a society deciding that every so many days we just kind of
Stop.
take time off. We do it collectively. And this is a good time to like just disconnect and to not have your obligations and all the commitments and all these outside and I'm the first one who, when I need something from the mall downtown and it's fucking closed on Sunday, right, to be outraged.
Yeah.
Right?
I think you're crazy. That's a stupid, no. Do not close everything on a day. I have no use for that whatsoever.
But why?
Why do it? You're the one proposing something. Like, why would that exist? Like, I'm fine with
For every reason that I just said.
but I don't know that it does anything. If a group of people get together and they're like, we don't do
Right.
X on Sunday, we don't do X on Saturday, whatever. That's fine. Like, you're making a choice. But for an entire society to say it is not okay to do X on Sunday.
It's not that it's not okay.
But
It's
that's
just
what this
we
is.
don't.
This is a
Right, but,
this is
but
a law.
it's not okay. There's some judgment associated with it. There's the Christian, rules say that we don't do this, right?
Right.
It's not that there's anything inherently wrong. It's that there's inherent benefit. And to me, the only argument for Sunday opening is economic, right?
Oh, I disagree. I want to be able to do my commerce when it's convenient for me. Like, here's the other thing. All of these people are working,
Yeah.
the work days.
Right.
They have they've got a weekend in this country, in our country. Most people have 2 days in which to do their shopping.
Right.
So, like, if you take away one of those days, they're fucker hold. Also, Saturday becomes much more crowded at the stores, and frankly, I don't need that shit.
Right. There are also other times to do grocery shopping. You don't have to go grocery shopping on Saturday
But what I'm just saying, like,
or on Sunday. Right?
time is tricky. You got to,
Right.
if you want to get the whole family to go out clothes shopping or whatever, you're going to do it on a Saturday or a Sunday. If Sunday's cut off, you're like, that sucks.
Right.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it one bit. No.
I think that having a day where you can disconnect from those kind of things and those kind of worries would be really good. And if it was sanctioned by the state, right, and enforced by the state, then it's a protected day, right? It's a day that once a week, 100%, you have off from not only labor, but you have off from the pressures of having to go to the supermarket.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Right.
Frank is moving to Poland.
No, I don't.
Frank has made an announcement.
I started off with I'm mixed on it, right? I'm making the argument for it, and why I
Yeah.
think even there are legitimate secular reasons for picking a day, not Sunday closures. It could be Monday. They could just decide, hey, we have 4-day work weeks.
Well, and that's
everything is fucking closed on Monday, and you still have Saturday and Sunday to do your shopping.
And that's an interesting point because this Sunday closure thing has perturbed some people, and not always the people that you would expect. Seventh-day Adventists
Oh yeah,
see this as yet another sign that the rest of Christianity is fucked. Because they know that the real Sabbath is on Saturday.
right.
And this just proves that everybody else is wrong.
Right.
And of course, then you've got the Muslims and you've got the Jews that have their Friday sort of thing.
Right.
It's so arbitrary, first of all. Like, which day is the Sabbath? It's fucking... There's just no point to
Right.
like saying it's this day for sure. Because
Well,
God and the numbers and the things and we did the math. Friday, Saturday.
Wednesday. I'm a Wednesday Sabbath person.
Yeah, our Shabbat.
I've never heard of that.
My Shabbat
Has
is...
any faith ever picked Wednesday
Maybe.
as their holy day?
I'll tell you what, they definitely haven't picked Thursday. We all know Thursday's out. This is right out. Thursday's just a stupid day.
Yeah.
Wednesday,
it's
there's got to be the Church of the Eternal Hump Day.
dumb.
All right, what do you got? Let's move on.
So this is amazing. Have you ever heard of Gloria Copeland?
No,
Of Kenneth and Gloria Copeland
no.
of the Kenneth Copeland Ministries.
Oh, okay,
Anyway, if you saw him, you'd recognize him.
okay.
I did not recognize Gloria Copeland. Anyway, she apparently serves on Donald Trump's Evangelical Advisory Board.
Oh, sure.
She came out this last week completely against flu shots.
Of course she did.
She says, inoculate yourself with the word of God. She says that, well, listen, partners, we don't have a flu season. Right? And we don't, and she cautions people from getting the vaccination. She says, and don't receive it when somebody threatens you with, everybody's getting the flu. We've already had our shot. He bore our sicknesses and carried our diseases. That's what we stand on. And she says, so she then in this video starts she prays for people who do happen to have the flu, even though she doesn't believe in it. So she already contradicts herself.
Right.
She says, flu, I bind you off the people in the name of Jesus. Jesus himself gave us the flu shot. He redeemed us from the curse of the flu.
Oh my God. It's just, I mean, do you remember when they used to believe that the disease was caused by devils, by demons in your body? Yeah, even she knows that's not true.
Right.
She knows about viruses. She has heard about it
She
and
doesn't trust it, though.
She
That's
believes in
science,
it.
and she doesn't believe in
She
science.
believes in
No,
viruses.
She doesn't. It's all... This is science denial coming in at a whole new level.
Yeah.
Right? Like this, it's starting to get actually a little on the scary side. And maybe we're just finding out about it. Maybe it's just a little bit more exposed than it used to be. But these folks are fucking nuts. She says that the best way to protect yourself from the illness or from the flu is to declare, I'll never have the flu. That's all you have to do, Dan.
Great. That bitch better never show up with the sniffles.
Oh, no kidding. I hope she is.
I mean, you gotta know you have just put a target on you. If someone sees you raise a Kleenex to your face, you're done.
Well, I would intentionally sneeze in her face if I had the flu.
I know.
Like,
It's a pleasure to meet you.
This is of course coming out in a year when the Centers for Disease Control, right, and Prevention has actually reported that 51.4 there are 51.4 cases of people being hospitalized for the flu per 100,000 people.
Wow.
In the United States.
That's high.
That's actually about 150,000 people in this country have been hospitalized for flu.
It's been a nasty year.
Yeah, it's been awful.
It's been a shit year. Everybody that I know has had a really bad sickness this year.
Yeah.
In this non-flu season. There's no flu season.
Yeah.
As she'll point out to you.
Yeah. So Gloria Copeland, I watched another video of her being introduced to come out and speak. She's sort of the head of their health ministry, right?
Of course she is.
And she
in the fine tradition of
she has released a 7-step guide to get healed from cancer.
Oh, good.
Which of course is all about prayer and alternative medicine.
Right. Yeah. You would say 3 Hail Marys, 4 Our Fathers, and some lemon.
Yeah.
And you're done.
Yeah.
No cancer.
No cancer.
All right. Well, Frank, you are going to be very happy about what I'm about to tell you.
Why?
There's a new app on the market.
Oh, I love apps.
Yes, you're an appy sort of fellow. So you're going to be very happy with this.
Uh-huh.
Happy because you're appy. This is the Our Bible app.
Okay.
Because obviously the reason you left the church is because you're gay. What if you had your own Bible app that you could have had that honors you?
Wait, what does that mean?
I don't know.
It's a different Bible based on who's reading it?
According to the creator, it's a meditation app for LGBTQ Christians, their friends, families, and allies.
What?
Because I don't know if you know this, people who are really Bible-y tend not to like the gays very much. They tend not to be very good at gays. So, this woman, a lesbian, went into the process of, she did a successful Indiegogo campaign, and she built. They've got this new app here. She was talking about the other Bible apps. She said many allow conservatives to reach out in need of something spiritual or worshipful, or will allow them to meditate or find community.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But not if you're queer.
Yeah.
You don't get to do that.
Oh, my God. And
So-
I just feel the lack.
Right?
I knew there was something missing in my life.
Right. So it's not just for the LGBT community. She says that there are people talking about sort of black and brown portrayals of Jesus.
So wait,
that sort of thing.
have they changed the biblical story to fit?
No, it's just the Bible. But you can connect with other people who won't be dicks about you being gay over biblical stuff.
Oh, great.
So, you use the book that's a little bit of a dick about you being gay to connect with other people who
are also ignoring that.
Who are also,
one
yes,
major detail.
really trying to blind themselves to that. I mean, frankly, anyone who believes in the Bible has become good at blinding themselves to a lot of stuff,
Including the Bible itself.
Literally, you got to ignore so much Bible to be okay with the Bible. It doesn't matter who you are. Even if you're in favor of a whole laundry list of things that I'm not in favor of,
Right.
there's stuff in that Bible that you cannot possibly be in favor of.
No, that's true.
So,
Yeah.
but at least the gays can now, can now commune with each other over their Bible.
Oh, we commune with each other. We've got that one figured out.
Is there do you think there's a dick pic sharing part of the Our Bible app?
Well, that's the only way you're going to get the gays there.
That's the only, yeah, exactly.
I mean, lesbians, I don't know. I don't even know how they work. But
no, they share dick pics too.
They're so weird.
They're so weird, he says. Oh my gosh. I'm in the Bears section of the Our Bible app. Sometimes I like to browse around in the Twink section, though. It's kind of fun.
You never know. You never know what's going to strike your fancy.
Indeed. Well, if something has struck your fancy and you'd like to tell us about it, you can write into us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or you could call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yep. Go to the Facebook page, please. Facebook.com/TGIAtheist. Click that like button.
And while you're on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It's a closed group, but we'll let you in.
For free, even.
Whoa. Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
Do you know who we don't hear enough from in this world?
Who?
Michelle Bachmann?
Oh, yeah, hers is a voice, a screechy, high-pitched, harpy voice that we just need more of in the world.
Yeah, strangely soothing. Or not.
Or not.
As soothing as fingernails on a chalkboard. Like, it's just a lovely, grating voice.
And with that introduction, hey, let's play some of her voice for our listeners.
Well, yeah, and here she is. She's a real fan of one Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah.
And so she's got...
I don't know if you know this. He's a very godly man. She'll talk about it. She'll tell you. Don't worry about it.
How anybody could criticize this speech is beyond me, because he's wanting every bloomin' American to succeed, and he's appealing to common sense in that he doesn't want to see this country hurt from terrorism. He doesn't want to see us hurt from bad criminals who come into this country. There's so much decency that I heard in this speech, and a heart. He's very much heart. He's head, but he's very much heart. And he has so much respect for God. He really does. Now, he's lived a wild life, but this is a guy who has respect for God. First and foremost, he has respect for God. I've been in the Oval Office. I put my hands on him. I prayed over this man. He asked for prayer. His whole family asked for prayer. That's because they understand the importance of God and they respect God.
She put her hands on him. Ooh. That sounded... I feel like that's like she's indicating something sexy happened.
Listen, we had sex, and
listen,
he yelled out, "Oh my God!" like so many times.
He has a respect for God. I put my hands on him, and lots of respect for God.
He mentioned the Lord by name, multiple times.
He's just called out to Jesus. Wouldn't say my name, which was weird, but called out to God a lot.
Oh yeah. When I just a good.
Put my hands on him.
Boy, they really are setting this this bar really low, aren't they? Because really, all you have to do now, you can live a wild life.
Right? Yeah.
Her words.
Yeah.
Right. But believes in God.
It's amazing, but actually believes in God means nothing to them because the last guy talked a lot more about God.
Absolutely.
They did not believe him. They just
right.
So you have to believe in God and also be white. Or the orange color version of white. You can be off-white. You don't have to be like pure white and delightsome, but you sure as shit can't be black.
I know.
Anyway,
Yep.
Also you can't support the murder of babies, which Donald John Trump has paid for some abortions. That man has aborted some children in his day.
Yeah.
Oh,
If not,
where is
if
that
not
story?
by hand,
Right. Yeah.
at
Exactly.
least financial support. of it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, who would it surprise in this world who's actually paying any attention if someone came out with a report that, like, she came to him, said she was pregnant, and he just punched her in the belly reflexively? Like, I don't think anybody
Would doubt
would
it.
doubt that. Anyway, let's move on.
But he believes in God.
But he's a godly man. It's true. And we had some folks write into us. Elise wrote in and said, "Dear Frank and Dan, when we talk about the parents of the 13 abused children," this is that story.
Yeah.
The 13 kids that were all sort of chained up in this
Right.
godly household.
Yeah.
She says it's important to also look into the parents' relationship. I've seen material suggesting that the father began this family by kidnapping the teen that would become his wife.
Oh, wow.
Male dominance and even misogyny are often part of Christian and other religious zealotry, as they were in this terrible case. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Right.
But what I do know is true is that absolutely, like, male dominance, patriarchy, all of that bullshit is woven into the fabric of almost every religion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's poisonous every single time.
Yep.
So that much I can agree with you on. As for the rest, I don't know. Hi, guys, says Kurt. A couple of weeks ago, you brought up the story of the Canadian government requiring applicants for the summer job grants to affirm that they respect, among other things, LGBTQ rights and women's reproductive rights. As you would expect, religious organizations are none too pleased about it. But as much as it pains me to say it, I have to side with the religious folks on this one. While I certainly support LGBTQ and reproductive rights and share your enthusiasm for those rights or for the promotion of those things, I think this was the wrong way for the government to go about it. The government should enforce laws as they relate to those rights, but applying the vague ideology test goes too far. The government ought to be policing actions, not thoughts. In this case, my ideologies happen to align with those of the government, but I can easily imagine a conservative government trying to apply a similar values test, but with a pro-life slant. If it's not okay for the goose, it shouldn't be okay for the gander. Love the show. Keep up the great work. It's an interesting point.
Yeah.
In this case, the Canadian government has a stated ethos
Right.
that they're just requiring anyone who gets these grants to be on board with. I don't know. It's not.
Sometimes the majority can get a little pushy.
It's true. They're not requiring everybody to believe what they believe. They're just saying that if you're going to qualify for government grants, you have to sort of be in line with government values.
Right, but it sounds like
There may be an issue with that.
Yeah.
I think that it can be a little bit sketchy because yes, we wouldn't want the opposite to exist.
yeah.
We wouldn't want.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I like 'em.
Thanks, Kurt, for writing in. I know that I've got one contribution, one new member of the TGIA family to report. This was Colin, who has given us a one-time donation.
Fantastic.
So thanks, Colin. And I know that you have some other.
I do. We have a total of 5 people to thank. Amongst them, we have 3 new faithful listeners.
Okay.
We have Jason, Mormon Zodiac, and Ashley.
Oh.
So thank you guys so much. And then we have Andrew, who's now a beatified listener. And we have June, who is a pope.
Oh, we got a new pope.
We have a new pope. Pope
Send
June.
some smoke up the chimney, kids. We got a new pope.
And these folks,
Blessed be they.
yeah, they went to our Patreon page, where all of our supporters gain access to an ad-free version of the show.
Right.
And there's also a way to, if you sign up at a certain level, there's also our diaries.
Yeah, there's
that
bonus content. Basically, if you decide you want to be a patron of the show, member of the family, you get access to the ad free feed for the show, which is great, and bonus content.
Yeah.
So we put out bonus content weekly. There may be extra bonus content that you never know what's going to happen.
Time,
and
it's possible.
You'll never get to hear it if you don't join these lovely people and become
part of the TGIA family.
Yeah. So go to Facebook or not Facebook. Don't go to there.
No.
Go to thankgodimatheist.com. Click on that Patreon bit and
we'll go from there.
And you can be like our Lord and Savior.
Oh,
may she forever
the holiest
reign
of all
may
our patrons.
May flights of angels sing her to her rest. Angela. All right, kids. Thanks.
Thanks so much.
Well, Frank.
Yes.
There was in this this Me Too era, this hashtag Me Too era, this era of no longer being, trying to tear down the institutionalized cover that is provided for sexual abusers. We recently had a big story about Larry Nassar, who was the gymnastics doctor,
Right.
Who
for USA Gymnastics,
and for whatever, what was he was also at one of the universities, who abused just countless young vulnerable girls.
Yeah.
That sort of came into his office.
It's really horrifying.
It was disgusting.
The accounts are horrifying.
And he is going away to jail for hopefully ever. He's he's not likely to rejoin society anytime soon.
Yeah. The man needs to go away.
Yeah. And that's all a good thing. And there are all of these, and there's now like inquiries into the institutions that sort of provided cover for him and didn't provide support for these girls and all of this sort of thing. And the same thing's happening in industries across the country and around the world. One of the industries that has been called out by one of Mr. Nassar's victims. This is a woman named Rachel Denhollander. I don't know where to put the emphasis on that. I don't know which syllables to emphasize in that last name. This has got a lot of syllables. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, Miss Denhollander talked about her faith. She's a faithful conservative Christian.
Okay.
She was talking to Christianity Today, and she was talking about the fact that Mr. Nassar abused her, and she said the following, quote, "Church is one of the least safe places to acknowledge abuse.
What?
Because the way it is counseled is more often than not damaging to the victim." Yeah, she said the church is one of the worst places to go for help.
Wow.
She said that with deep regret.
Right.
But she is speaking her truth. She is done covering for anybody, apparently.
Well, yeah, and good for her, because people rely on their local church, on their pastor.
And they are specifically told to rely on their local church and their pastor. They are told that this is the appropriate place to go if you have any needs.
Yeah.
Spiritual, emotional, psychological.
And the problem is that the pastor probably, really good chances, that this individual doesn't have the right kind of training to be providing the services that you need.
Yeah.
And they're often reluctant to refer you to the services that are out there.
Right. Well, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Church, what they don't want scandal.
Right.
So here's the other thing. A lot of times, this may not have been the case for this young woman, but a lot of times, it's your neighbor that's doing this. It's someone who knows you. They may be members of the church too.
Right.
And, this may shock some people to learn, but sometimes it's even a member of the clergy themselves.
Right.
And in that point, in that instance, so often, the pastor that or the priest that this person has gone to for help is good friends with X person.
Yeah.
Knows, old brother so-and-so, well, he may have done something wrong here. But he's a good family man. And he's got he takes care of those kids real well. And, he provides for his wife and kids. And you wouldn't want their family to be torn up, would you?
And they've had such a rough year. What with Nancy's,
hysterectomy.
Yeah. No, this is just bad timing for them.
Yeah, you don't want to you wouldn't want to do this to their family, would you? And that happened. This is the kind of thing that happens.
I'll talk to him.
Yes, exactly. I'll talk to him. Mm-hmm. Don't worry.
Right.
I'll get him right with God.
Right.
That does nothing for you, but I'll get him right with God.
Right.
We'll sort him out.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing. Church is awful for victims.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's pretty great for perpetrators. And that's the flip side of this coin, is that church is awesome for somebody who has committed a horrible crime. Because the whole point of church is, let's get you forgiven.
Yeah.
Let's just, you did something terrible. You're going to have to do, you're going to have to do a lot of praying.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to read a lot of scripture.
Right.
And then it's all forgiven. And
there's no reason to involve the authorities.
No. We'll handle
the higher authority.
That's right. The highest
has forgiven.
The highest of all possible authorities is this one. And I have access to him.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I got an in with this guy. I happen to know for a fact I can get you out of this.
And he'll let me know. He already has let me know.
I'm really good at this.
You're on the right path.
Plea bargaining with God is pretty easy. He's a bit of a pushover. I not for nothing. This guy, seriously, if you just say you're sorry, he'll let it go. He's awesome that way.
I love it.
Meanwhile, the victim gets jack shit.
Yeah.
There's another interesting thing. Hemant Mehta pointed out a concept that he calls sin leveling that happens in churches.
Okay. What's that?
Which is the idea that sin is a sin is a sin is a sin.
Right. No, I've
sure.
This before.
This guy raped you, but you know what? This guy was a thief, and that guy didn't honor his parents. So everybody's a sinner,
Yeah.
And we just need to learn to forgive, like the Lord forgives.
And it's an interesting thing because it diminishes the really grievous, acts.
Yeah.
Right. It pulls them down, but it also pushes fairly minor transgressions against your fellow human being and pushes them up and brings it on par with really nasty things.
Yeah.
And so the guilt that people feel for the little things that we just do, we transgress against each other. We might say something that's a little nasty or and those are sins too, according to
Well, I mean
jealousies and
or what's worse, the act of loving another human being in a physical way. That's love. It's the opposite of a sin. There's no way that me having sex with somebody that I love, regardless of what paper we have gotten or like who has blessed us.
Right. Oh no, but
there's
that blessing, Dan.
There's no way that is a word, but
it's the blessing.
The thing is that's the thing. They make an equivalency between extramarital sex, like that's a sin.
Right.
And boy, in Mormonism, it's Mormonism does a better job of ranking sins than some.
Yeah, because I remember, like, as a kid, you know, because I didn't grow up in Utah, so my friends by and large were not Mormon.
Right.
And so we would, but also we lived in religious places, and so I would get weird comments from these little Baptist kids or whomever, and I wouldn't really understand what they were saying, you know, and they had this whole leveling out equivalency thing that they would do, and basically disobeying your parents was just as bad as being a thief or being a murderer.
Right.
And it was just like, okay, surely you misunderstood something at church.
Right.
And turns out, no, they really didn't.
No. Sin is a sin. Now, Mormonism does rank the sins to some extent. But my wife grew up being told constantly that not guarding her virtue, that having sex was the second worst sin next to murder.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to tell
bad.
me that having loving or even just having fun sex is worse or as bad as having forced undesired sex, you're going to be in trouble with me, because that's some bullshit right there.
Sex is sex.
Right.
Is sex.
Well, and what it does is there are all of these victims of sexual abuse, of predation, of rape, who end up thinking that they've committed a sin.
Yeah.
They had sex. I committed a sin in this whole thing. And they go to these pastors, they go to these leaders, and the leaders tell them that they have to repent. And it's nastiness.
That's fucked up.
I mean, so yeah. I mean, the thought. I guess the big revelation for me, the big thing that I had it hadn't really occurred to me, because I know that I've known for a long time that, you know, that the churches are just terrible at protecting victims. I hadn't realized, like, yeah, it's a pro-perp system. It is great to be the perpetrator. It is terrible to be the victim at church. It's insane. It's set up that way. That's how it's set up.
Well,
and
I mean,
and it's always that way.
It's only been recently that all of this violence toward women has even been really recognized as a really bad thing.
Right. Well, violence toward women, violence towards children.
Right. Because, like, the patriarchy protects these things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's a good man.
Yeah.
He's got some flaws.
Yeah.
Just like we all do.
Yeah.
You know, I used to steal out of my dad's wallet. He rapes people. We all have our flaws.
Oh, yeah.
The Lord forgives us all.
I will say this, though. It is clear that that violent, we are becoming a less, I know it sometimes feels like it's the other way, but it does seem like we're becoming a less violent society.
Well, we are,
because we're becoming aware of these very specific acts of violence and what they do to people, and that it is just absolutely 100% wrong, and all the mandatory reporting that's now required, that's supposed to be required.
Right. Required, but doesn't seem to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're working on it, and we're having this big discussion, and it seems like the acceptance of this is to me, it seems like it's
yeah.
People are not as willing to turn a blind eye.
We're taking small steps forward.
Yeah.
I think that's undeniable. And yet, you know, here's God bless this woman.
Yeah.
Who was able to not only just come out bravely and say, yes, I was abused by this guy, but she's clearly got zero fucks left to give about who she's calling out.
Yeah.
It is time to she's just going to call it as she sees it.
Yeah.
And let the chips fall where they may. And I think that needs to happen so much. And I think people who suffer abuse, people who suffer under, and then who suffer from they go to the person that they trust. They go to their pastor, their priest. Yeah. They go to the person who they have been told their whole lives is their salvation, is someone that they can trust. and that person fails them so completely,
Yeah.
it's time to start talking about it.
Yeah.
So I'm very
Good for her.
very proud of her for doing that. Hopefully, members of our community who have suffered under that will be able to come out and talk about it.
You mean the atheist community?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm saying members of the atheist community who, in their religious history, dealt with this stuff.
Gotcha. I didn't. Sorry.
Yeah, I may not have made that
didn't
clear.
make a connection of exactly what you're
But
talking
hopefully, people
about.
in
Because I
our
know that there's also a problem with sexism and whatnot within the atheist community.
well, yeah, absolutely.
And we don't. Again, we don't have the structures of a religion or
Right.
anything to contend with.
It still
but-
exists, and in all of its forms, it needs to be
Right.
called out. But I mean, I think that especially
I just had misunderstood what you were saying, and my mind went to a place. I understand
Right.
what you're saying.
right.
Even if you are now out of it and free, if you had these experiences,
Talk about it.
yeah,
Put it out there.
Yeah.
I think it's important to our society to be saying, look at these institutions and look at how they deal with things and look at how they treat people.
yeah,
Because victims' rights are a thing that's happening now.
Right.
We need to press with that. We
Right.
need to step on the gas with that.
right.
So there you go. If you have anything you'd like to add to the conversation, we welcome your voice. Go ahead and write to us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or you could call.
Your actual voice.
Yeah,
We welcome
use your voice.
You could be on the show.
use your words.
Use your words, people.
You can call us at 424-666-8442 and leave us a voicemail message. And, we go through them, and we'd love to hear from you guys and play them on the show.
Yeah. Hey, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist.
And while on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge. Request to join. It's a closed group. It's moderated. It's a safe place for all concerned.
Hopefully. We try to make it that way. Speaking of Facebook, thanks to Mackenzie for her hard work on our Facebook page. Thanks so much to Sarah, Danny, and Amy for their work as moderators in the Members Only Lounge.
And thanks go out to the Red Rock Hot Club for the use of their music, and Gordon Johnston for the use of his music.
Yes, and thanks again to our patrons, the members of our family who are getting all of that sweet access. And thank you, dear listener, dear viewer, for tuning in.
Bye-bye.